All right, yeah, no, let's get our guest up here. My good friend Duncan Trussell.
Duncan Trussell! Could have used him last week to bring the... Is he here?
He might have to walk in through the other door.
Duncan Trussell.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about what?
I lost track of time.
So that's okay. That means you're doing God's work.
Whoa.
See, he already made the whole room happier.
Nitrous is always doing God's work.
Well, no, a lot of people used to think that. They used to think you could use nitrous oxide to commune with spirits. There's actually in that book, The Brief History of Nearly Everything, like if you run out of fuel in your ear beating cannon and you want to really like fuel up and have shit to talk about to just beat people's ears into a bloody pulp, read that book. And apparently some famous scientist was really into nitrous oxide and like used it to commune with angels and stuff. So yeah, it is doing God's work to do nitrous oxide.
I was right.
I had a friend in high school who was the best dungeon master ever.
Was it Graham?
But yeah. Well, yeah, but if he's, I don't know if he might be lit. I know, he lived in the shadow.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, Graham was, yeah, but I don't want to embarrass, if Graham is listening, I don't want to embarrass him, but like I lost track of him forever, and then he I was like an adult in Milwaukee, and he showed up and he had he had a big tank of nitrous in a plastic hefty bag, and and it was like, we just.
The best day of your life.
Yeah. Is there any sucking on a garbage bag and talking about how I'm destined to lead people or something?
Is there any Is there any deleterious?
You might get brain
effects?
holes.
Oh yeah, it'll fuck you up. It's not.
Does it hurt your brain or?
Well, what happens is people will make the terrible mistake of putting a nitrous tank in their fucking van, right? They're like, let's go in the van and do nitrous, man. But they leave the tank on while they're doing balloons, and they pass out, and the van fills up with nitrous oxide. They don't die. Their bodies vibrate into infinity, and they vanish.
They level up, kids. They level up.
It sounds like dying.
Have you ever seen
sounds like dying.
Have you ever seen like an abandoned van?
Well, I mean, I would say just to start off, don't have a van.
Yeah.
But like, does doing nitrous like hurt your brain and kill brain cells or anything bad, or is there?
I mean, dentists give it to you.
There's
but you go to the dentist. Once or twice a year.
Well, am I just a child of Nancy Reagan, or just assuming that it gives you brain damage because I heard that somewhere?
There's some isolated cases of brain holes. They're not. It's not like all these people are getting brain holes. It's an epidemic because people have been doing nitrous for fucking ever, and there's not like brain holes all over the place. There's a few isolated cases. It's definitely bad to deprive your brain and body of oxygen, and I would not be surprised if it did cause. But also that depends on the mixture, because if you go like half air and half nitrous, I don't know how bad that is for your brain.
You know what you sound like? A nitrous oxide dealer.
Oh no. I definitely don't have 3 canisters.
You sound like I'm negotiating a nitrous oxide deal with a nitrous. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe if we go half, your brain will be okay. It's $5 a balloon, baby.
Can we? Is it irresponsible podcasting for us to get a tank and some balloons for our next show?
No. Let's do it.
Oh man.
Oh, I know how to do it too. I know how to get a tank. So
let me answer that question with a question. Is it an irresponsible society to elect a rapist Nazi and then just hang out and watch the world fall apart without doing nitrous publicly?
So it's not irresponsible. We can do it then.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm saying
you're signing off on it.
Yes, Rome is burning. Let's try Yahtzee if you haven't. My advice to everyone:
don't
try
not Yahtzee.
Everything.
Anything but Yahtzee. I got that covered.
Yahtzee?
You don't need to try Yahtzee.
There's only one lemonade you can get from the lemon of social upheaval, deterioration, whatever we think we're experiencing. The only lemonade is people, popping like popcorn, having a little controllable nervous breakdown and going, well, if this shit's happening, I'm going to try making that birdhouse.
Well, let's talk. Okay.
And that guy turning out to be the Frank Lloyd Wright of birdhouses and didn't know it because he was just like, if I keep voting Republican, I'll get rewarded. And then he's just like, wait, he said what to who? I'm the birdhouse. Boom. I'm a genius. I never needed to. I'm a Democrat now.
But the problem with Frank Lloyd Wright birdhouses is that they look great, but they're really uncomfortable.
Well, also the birds hate him. I'll tell you, the birds hate him because Frank Lloyd Wright's gimmick was like trying to oh, can you make a home merge with nature? And the bird's like, what the fuck do you think I'm moving in here for? I wanted a bird house. I want to say the N-word so bad. I want the bird to say punctuate it with the N-word.
Say it.
No.
Just, look, you just said that you could try anything now that a Nazi rapist is in the White House.
Look, but I want to talk to you about this.
I'm not going to try Yahtzee.
I want to talk to you about this idea of Rome burning.
All right.
Because I was thinking about it today, and I was thinking okay, if you have to pick an evil monster to deal with in your life, would you rather that evil monster to be smart, or would you rather that evil monster to be Donald Trump?
Right. But I think we've all agreed. I mean, we've all had this conversation on each other's podcasts, and we've had 9 months to talk about this. And what we've arrived at is it's not really him that's bumming us out. It's the reveal of the engine underneath our country that made it possible for him to be elected. It's the reaction that everyone's having to him being elected. No, he's swell. I agree with you. Yeah, I think we all agree with that. But that we're like, yeah, if you're gonna he's like Hitler, but he's not. He hasn't done anything yet.
No, I don't mean that. I mean,
and he's funny. He's got clown hair, and he's running around. He's farting, but
he probably doesn't fart.
But the fact that they had to move his sphincter to the crown of his head for his weird experimental hair.
Every time remember the time when he got up and didn't sign the executive order, and he was supposed to sign some shit, and he just got up and walked out.
Oh yeah,
motherfucker! No, you got to do the thing. He clearly pooped his pants. He made chocolate poopies and had to get the fuck out of there.
Probably right.
Yeah, no, at his age, I mean, I shit my pants all the time.
Yeah.
On the reg, as the kids say. On the reg, fam.
Oh, Grandpa.
If you get me high enough and I cough and then walk away. Be glad we weren't carpooling. But no, I mean it's like if we thought that we could have just him, but it's what he represents and all that shit. We all. I think most of us even we're like, you know what? And now it doesn't even matter. What if if the blue side of this weird two-headed beast now takes advantage of the nauseating
right.
Whatever happens next, we all agree we're going to be more bummed out about. But
universal health care.
But it's,
universal health care is that's what happens is you get this bumbling guy who freaks out all of his underlings, and to the point of trying to jam through these rotten fucking healthcare bills, alerting everyone in the country. This is what happens when you let super wealthy people be in control. They don't care about you. This isn't a new idea. This has been happening since the fucking Industrial Revolution. So you have this nice reminder. Look what happens when they start running shit. They don't care if you die. Now everyone knows it. And then because John McCain has this brain tumor and he doesn't care about getting reelected and he's not in it for politics anymore, this guy stops the whole fucking thing, which means we're one step closer to universal health care. So I'm not saying this is because Trump is meaning that to happen or good, or he's obviously just this, he's exactly what you would imagine the Antichrist would look like, but still if you're
does anyone here look at the Bible and check to see if anyone's the Antichrist? Because Trump might be the Antichrist.
Well, yeah, the last time I checked, the Antichrist had a fatal head wound that he recovered from. It's like a description.
Is that true?
I tweeted it to you because you were talking about something, and I was like, is it because we always, listen.
I don't always check my
Everybody
Twitter.
always thinks the Book of Revelations is talking about Bill Clinton or whatever. Like they always update who it's talking about.
Right? Yeah. Everyone thought Obama was the Antichrist.
But one thing's for sure, because I was always going like, well, I've read Revelations. I'm waiting for a guy who gets shot in the head in like a war, but he survives, and then he's like a war hero because it kind of says, I looked and he had a wound in his head, and yet he lived, or something like that. And it's like, oh God, it's his scalp surgery. It's his fucking. Like if you were looking at Donald Trump, but you had the X-ray vision provided you by Christ, you wouldn't see his fake hair and anything. You'd see him as a ghost, an aura, and you'd see at the top of his head, just like Darth Vader, there'd be this like amazing like fucking like weird symbol or something symbol. Like where this weird doctor tried to like twist his head like a fucking like end of a sausage to make his sideburns turn into his hair. Something that hurt him enough that he ran into his wife's bedroom and pulled her hair out and yelled at her and as she put it, had sex with me with his semi-hard penis.
Yeah.
And then she went and cried in her mom's room for 2 days, and when she came back, her hair was still spread on the bed, and he was laying there in his bathrobe, and he said, "Does it hurt?"
So logistically, if we want to do nitrous, do we get tanks and balloons up here?
I know how to do it. I know how to get nitrous. I looked it up. I know how to get nitrous. So
I think
also, are we breaking any kind of criminal codes by doing
probably.
that?
I know how to do it.
Not if there's a dentist present.
No, you don't need a dentist. So what you do is you apply for a catering license in LA.
For real?
Yeah. And if you apply for a catering license, because they have to, I guess caterers are like always making whipped cream or something.
Oh, yeah, always. They can't
You
get
can buy
enough
a tank of nitrous oxide.
Yeah, but that's not... We're talking about how to score, not how to make it legal.
No, you can buy it. You can just buy it. I can buy. I can go right now and buy some whipped cream chargers.
Yeah, you
probably get back
go buy
by the end of the show.
nitrous little canisters and do whippets.
Yeah, but those are annoying. You get these silver things all over your
I'm just saying
tank.
it's not impossible.
I'm saying legally, we're probably not allowed to do a podcast. Where
No, not for recreational purposes.
And just inhale balloons full of
But
nitrous
if you
oxide.
get arrested for that, that's the coolest way to get arrested.
There's cool ways to get arrested. I want to make sure we know who we're getting into.
I want to get arrested for doing nitrous oxide on Harmontown.
All right, let's fucking do it.
I want to get dragged downtown.
Like the Van Halen video, where we're in towels for no reason. Panama. Look it up and look up that thing where he pulled his wife's hair out of her head.
They wore towels in Panama in the video.
I think there was like a shot of David Lee Roth being like, but I don't know if it was fake or it was probably fake. I mean, like what were the? But it was like David Lee Roth in a towel, being like pulled like I don't know from a hotel by cops or something. But
oh boy, that's a score.
I think it was Panama. Yeah. Anyways, look. What about that girl in Intervention who inhaled the keyboard cleaner stuff? Is that what's the keyboard cleaner? That's not the same as doing nitrous? That's not
that's
nitrous
got to
oxide.
be some kind of other chemical.
Some kind of chemical.
Yeah.
So she was fucking herself up. She still made it through. She emerged. I watched the reunion specials and.
Yeah, right. But I wonder where she's at now, man. They need to do it. Where are they now?
That's like the top. That's all the Intervention fans' favorite episode because she's just. I'm living the dream. There's a gif of her where she's like, I feel like I'm walking on sunshine.
It's so disturbing.
There's a cleaner specific to keyboards.
It's like circuit boards, keyboards.
Oh wait, I've got a great story about this, man.
Computer cleaner, like a blast
compressed air.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
I have some friends in New York who sublet their apartment to somebody. And they got a call from their landlord, and their landlord's like, "Hey, you need to come back." And they're like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, because the person you sublet your apartment to is dead on your couch." And so they come back to the fucking apartment, and this guy is surrounded by keyboard cleaner. Like,
it's the compressed
he
air?
went to Target and bought, I guess, $1,000 worth of keyboard cleaner and committed suicide via keyboard cleaner, and he had melted into their couch. So it was just this like purple, bloated, melted corpse surrounded by Target bags and keyboard fucking cleaner. What a dick! That's how.
That's bad subletting. Yeah. We know that.
Like, come on, like that.
Whatever happened to manners?
There's so many better ways.
You're a guest in their house.
Yeah.
Asimov's 4 laws of subletting.
First, do no cleaners. Wait, so how do you do
clean?
Do you use inhale it? Like, what do you do?
I guess you inhale it. You would pop. I don't know. Maybe they put it in a bag and breathe it out of the bag. I'm not sure.
She was just sucking on a straw, and she had like burns on her lips. Like,
I think you want the
constantly.
propellant or whatever that liquid stuff is. I think it's that chemical that they're into, but who knows?
The other, but she goes on. Their bottom lines in the intervention episode is that they were going to like call animal control because she had cats that she loved, but they were like worried about her cats. So there was like, an intervention. You try to find these bottom lines, leverage and stuff. So they pull the trigger on because she walks out of the intervention, and then they're like, all right, call the cops, call the animal people about the cats. The cops come to her door, and then it's like she's like hanging out in her bedroom with her sister, and then someone says like, hey, the police are here, and she goes like, the po-po.